Hello, everybody. We are live on Facebook. Woohoo! I did it. This is my first accomplishment, is figuring out how to get Facebook live on time. I am so proud of myself. Welcome, everybody. This is Rose Chastain, one of the co-founders of Your Natural Healthcare, and I have the beautiful, amazing Tanya Hughes with me today. And this is our Peace of Mind for Uncertain Times. Tanya, thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting. This is going to be very fun.
My pleasure. I want to tell everybody about who you are for a minute. So first of all, Tanya lives in Arizona and runs a practice there called Acupuncture Central.
The Acupuncture Center.
Thank you. I was like, oh, I'm going to get this wrong. In addition to that, she has trained in, let's see, she's Arizona state licensed acupuncturist, national board certified with a diploma in acupuncture from NCCAOM. She also studied abroad in China and Taiwan. She's been a licensed massage therapist since 1997. There's a very long list of the things that she's trained in, which is include, you have a master's in Chinese medicine, right?
Yes, my master's degree is in Chinese medicine.
So extraordinary. And so her specialty really is the peace of mind, anxiety, pain relief, and then also treats everything that acupuncture can be used for, which is a big, long list of things. So, Tanya, if you wouldn't mind, you know, this is about peace of mind in uncertain times, because we all need it. As we were just talking about, we all right now need tools to deal with the just fear and concern that's in the air. And the stressors that adds to relationships, and the stressors that adds to our physical body, and we need all the tools we can get. So that's really the purpose of this. And if you would start by just telling us about Chinese medicine and acupuncture and what it is, how it can be used, and what those tools are for.
Okay. There's a lot of association of Chinese medicine strictly with acupuncture. And one of the things that I like to remind people of is that this is actually a full system of medicine unto its own right. Everybody thinks of I always call it the sexy part of our medicine is acupuncture. That's the thing that everybody associates feeling well with. But the whole system of Chinese medicine really and truly is about balance within the entire homeostatic system of the body. Mind, body, spirit, all in balance, all working together so that you can optimize everything you're called to do for life. So I caution people to just associate it with.
Interrupt you really quick. Sorry, Tanya. I just want to include your amazing dogs. So that's how.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was distracted a moment because they're barking in the background. They're really awesome right now. They're not used to this, so they're barking. So I guess that shows you guys we're live. Not a drill. So what I was saying is acupuncture is just one part of Chinese medicine. It also includes nutritional counseling and therapy. It includes mind-body therapies like meditation, movement, qigong, exercise. So it's really a very balanced system. It's its own diagnostic system. When we're looking at a patient, we're looking at the body as a whole, not just the GI system, or not just the nervous system, or not just pain, or not just anxiety. We're looking at the body as a whole and trying to bring those things back into balance. Because unfortunately today, especially with everything that's going on, not only are a lot of people out of balance, now you've got the whole world out of balance.
Does the world being out of balance affect us personally?
Oh, absolutely, because you are subject to the energy of everything around you. That's one of the bases of Chinese medicine, is that the energy runs through the meridians of your body, but it also runs through the planet, through your connection with other people. You're absorbing and transmitting all of that energy constantly. So a lot of us that are in mental anxiety right now, we're picking up on everything else that's going on in the world, not just that stuff that's going on inside of us. So it amplifies it.
So it's really even more important now to have that balance and protect your space, or the energies of what you're around at the moment. Yeah, that's really big. I wanted to ask you, as you know, we have awesome CBD products, and I've been telling people, everybody, to take some CBD spray, and we have drops that we're offering now. I mean, we can ship them only to California. I'm sorry, Tanya, but I know, so sad. But
Yep, I love those.
it's so good. But I've been telling everybody, you gotta start your regular regimen of CBD. You know, I do just a couple sprays under my tongue in the morning and then a couple before bed. And I wanted to know, because you are also one of the experts on CBD and the impact of CBD.
Yes, I'm ICCT certified, which is International Cannabinoid Therapy Association. So I have taken a biomedical course in it. I use it a lot with my patients, and I can't tell you how ecstatic I have been that we are able to have this herb or supplement back into our repertoire. A lot of people don't realize that hemp and CBD was part of the Chinese materia medica for 2,000 years.
Oh, you mean it's not just trendy?
No, it's not this new trendy thing. This has been referenced in our herb materials for thousands of years. The documentation goes back centuries, literally. And so this was always used to balance the system because it's ideal for creating homeostasis in the body. It works to suppress certain things and elevate other things so that you maintain that balance. So it's one of the most beautiful herbs, I think, that we can possibly use in our system today. It really works well. And the fact that we've gotten back the use of it after not having it for so long is, you know, I'm personally ecstatic about it. So
cool. Now, would you, sorry, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but would you say more about what is homeostasis and why it's so important? I mean, it's a word used, but if you would tell us more about that.
Yeah, in Western medicine, they use the term homeostasis to mean when the body and everything is in balance. So it's that status of being optimized, I guess. You can refer to it depending on what system you're talking about. I'll give you an example of homeostasis. I like to use this with my clients because everybody understands inflammation in the body, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So CBD brings down inflammation in the body. We do have enough scientific research to state that it does have an effect on inflammation. However, if we brought down inflammation too much, we wouldn't be able to react to a pathogen, a virus, a bacteria. We wouldn't be able to fight it. If we got a wound, we wouldn't be able to clot the wound. So you want a balance of each element in the body. So inflammation is considered really bad out there to most of us because we've kind of demonized it in terms of chronic pain. But inflammation is actually there to help you survive as well. So that's an example of where you want homeostasis. You don't want too much, but you don't want too little. So finding that balance is the homeostatic point.
That's brilliant, Tanya. I never thought of inflammation in terms of that it has positive attributes, but it
has a lot of positive attributes. You do not want to be without any of it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that, like a bug bite, and you swell. You get that reaction. You need that, otherwise it's just in your body.
Yeah, it's there as a protective mechanism for you as well. Problem is we usually have too much of it for most of us, but there are those patients that do have too little as well.
And so CBD will help bring things into balance, whether it's inflammation or hormones or stress or whatnot.
Yes. Like one of the technical ways it does that is by preserving a amino acid called anandamide, which is kind of the bliss molecule. That's the happy molecule in the body. So it prevents breakdown of that. Yeah, so that's one thing that we know that it does. And again, we need a lot more research, but the more research we're doing, the more positive it seems to be becoming, which is encouraging. So it preserves anandamide, so it makes you happier. You know, that helps with anxiety. And at the same time as it's preserving anandamide, it's inhibiting the breakdown of anandamide into arachidonic acid, which increases inflammation in the body. So I don't want to get too biochemical, but there's a lot of things that it's doing, and it's really interesting. And it's doing all those things, again, to maintain balance. It's one of those things that's really important for balance. We have natural cannabinoids that occur in our body, and anandamide is one of them. And so CBD comes in and helps that whole system function a little bit better.
That's awesome. I'm so glad I asked you that.
So yeah, I don't want to get too technical with people, but yeah, it's a really cool thing. And if you look at it from a science perspective, it's a really cool thing. So
that's really cool. Thank you for that. I mean, it's, obviously I've been learning a lot about the longer we have this business and the longer we're developing more products, I learn more and more about CBD and what it does and my own personal experiences too, but I haven't done that kind of scientific study, and I didn't realize it's so legit. You could say.
It's very involved, and I do caution everybody that we're still in the research phases, and so you don't want to say definitively it does this or it does that because we don't have enough information yet.
Yeah.
But like I said, the potential is definitely there, and it's an exciting field.
That's so cool, Tanya. Thank you for sharing that with us. I wanted to ask just a slightly different, going a slightly different topic. I know with your studies and with all the knowledge you have and everything you just talked about being in homeostasis and balance, I wonder if you would tell us about what your home practice is or what you would recommend your patients practice at home, while we're all in isolation.
Yes.
and can't go to the acupuncture center, what practices can we do?
Yeah, there's a lot of things we can still do. We can't get out to our acupuncturists, our chiropractors, or our massage therapists right now, but there is a lot of things we can do internally and introspectively to bring back balance. And we tend to be a society that's what I call yang addicted. Like we're go, do, see, move. We're always on the energetic side.
Guilty.
So, and I find I'm the same way. If I'm not productive, I'm thinking something's wrong,
Yeah.
So it's really giving us a time to pull back and to really tonify what we call in Chinese medicine the yin side, which is the slowing down, the mindfulness, the act of being present in your surroundings. These are things that we never get a chance to do. And the world is kind of giving us a chance to pull back. It's saying there's been too much of this. There's been too much go. Now is the time to pull back and be more introspective. So I get the most out of things like meditation, yin style yoga, which is the slow deep stretching. I do a lot of that. I've also been doing quite a bit of mindfulness practice, which is just being in the moment. I'm a very future-oriented person typically, and so I've taken this time to pull back and be in the now, because if you really look at where you are right now, there's no fear in now. Most of us are safe, secure, we're comfortable in our homes, we have the things we need. We might not have everything we want, but we have everything we need.
Yeah.
And so to take that introspection and to be in the moment and to understand that in the moment fear doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
That is a really precious thing. And we should take some time to appreciate that.
And how do you remind yourself of that? I know for me, I'm sitting there, I'm working, arguing with my spouse, doing dishes, thinking about like the things I'm cleaning for the 100th time and, all of that stuff that makes up life. What do you do so that you remember to be in the present and to take that time?
I love gardening. I love gardening. You can't see out behind me, but I have huge flower baskets and they just overhang everything. And one of my meditations every day is to take the little the dead ones off so that they rebloom better. And it's like a mindfulness practice. And I go out and I visit my plants and I talk to my plants, pet my dog, snuggle with them. I'm definitely an animal and a plant person. So I really get in the moment when I'm observing nature and observing things like that. So
that's awesome. So we really need to take it upon ourselves to take an active role in mindfulness. Like this is not a time when you're going to accidentally stumble into a peaceful state. That we need to actually take the time to implement something. I know for me, I've been making myself walk every day. And I remembered, actually since talking to you a couple days ago, I remembered how much I used to love photography, and I actually have a camera. So I actually took the camera out, not just a phone, but a camera, and actually took the camera out and I think it's more important now than ever for us to take the time to do those things. Later today, I'm going on a walk, and a girlfriend of mine, we're having a virtual walk together, and we'll call each other, and as we walk, right? Since we can't walk together, we'll walk both on the phone. So I think that that's so brilliant what you said, Tanya, and it's not like it has to be some glamorous, fancy thing that fixes something. It can be plucking the flowers, petting the dog, and walking, you know.
Be very
so good.
simple. We make things too complicated. We tend to
do.
overcomplicate everything, and we should really
We so do. All right, so let me switch topics on you again. I'm going back and forth, but I want to know for you, what is your favorite CBD product? But I also, in addition, I want to know, like, if you had to pick like 2 products, one would be a CBD product. I'm telling you, that's your option.
Right.
And then other product. Yeah.
Other product,
And
anything?
what would they? Anything. Yeah.
For
Obviously for your health, for your general well-being.
Okay. There's 2 of your CBD products that I absolutely love. One is the under eye serum for those baggy inflamed eyes.
Too.
That
Yes.
that's my go-to. That's my go-to. So I love that one.
You're beautiful. You are beautiful.
Again, because it reduces inflammation, so it'll reduce those puffy eyes. The other one I love because I am a go and do person, I'm always moving. So you get those muscle aches and pains, and the CBD heating rub is just my go-to for anytime soreness after workouts, post yoga, post dance, all of that kind of stuff. That's a lifesaver. So I do love it. So I love those 2, I think, equally.
Awesome.
As far as something else that I do, are you asking supplement wise?
Yeah. Or maybe it's a practice. So just something, that is your. If you and a client were stranded on an island and you could only pick 2 products, what would they be? We got the CBD side. What's the other side?
Oh, wow. Well, water. I think water is incredibly underrated, especially here in the desert. I can't tell you how many times I preach to my patients, you do not drink enough water. Hydration is your friend in everything. Absolutely everything you do requires hydration. I think water's underrated. And on a deserted island, that's the first thing you want.
That's so perfect.
So when you said deserted island, I couldn't help but go there, because we live in the desert here, so I'm constantly preaching that with my patients. So that's one thing that we don't really think of as a supplement, but it's incredibly important. The other thing is, magnesium is a real go-to for me too. It's magnesium. I think most of us are magnesium deficient, to be completely honest. So that one's helpful for relaxing muscles, joint, mind. It has a very profound effect on the nervous system, and most of us tend to be deficient in it. Yeah. And then as far as herbs go, my go-to is astragalus. And right now, this is such an important herb in our medicinary because it boosts the immune system incredibly well. There's a lot of research to support that. And so I do tell people right now, I'm saying it's really important for us to boost our immune system and remain healthy. So I would want astragalus around now, and I have bottles myself. So that's what I'm recommending for sure.
That is so awesome. And thanks for answering while I put you on the spot.
Oh, that's okay. Improv.
And then I wanted to ask you a specific question, like I referred to, you and I were talking the other day when we were scheduling time for me to interview you, and you were talking about how you're always going, producing, and that you need to put in these practices, but how you said it, and you were breathing a particular way. I really want your secrets about reducing anxiety, because you're very like you seem to not be having an emotional reaction about your emotional reactions, if that makes sense. It's like, this is my humanity, and this is what I have, and would you speak to that for us?
Sure. As far as one of my tips and techniques that I use, and I use this with my patients and with my coaching clients and stuff a lot, is the breath. And you were saying the way I breathe. most of us are chest breathers. We breathe into the chest, and when you breathe into the chest, that tells your nervous system that you're in fight or flight, and that's another science-based thing. My dog's agreeing with me. So
they go,
what
you got
you do in order to signal, yeah, get a breathe. But one of the things that people don't know is when you breathe abdominally, when you get the breath down and centered, and in Asian medicine, they call this dantian. In Qigong, Tai Chi, your dantian is your energetic center, and that happens to be down in the abdomen. Well, when we breathe into the abdomen, that actually signals the body to relax. So a lot of times when I'm holding space for my patients and for my coaching clients and things like that, you really want to breathe into that energetic center. You want to get the energy low, because if it's all up here, you're hyper and you're on and you're in somebody's face. And so when you're angry or upset or you're fearful, you can just see the body's energy lift like that. So, and then you're chest breathing, and that's fight or flight. So if you really want to bring yourself back, one of the first things you can do to signal your body that it's safe is to actually breathe into the abdomen. And you'd be surprised, a lot of people find it's really tight down there and they don't know actually how to get that. And none of us girls want to expand our abdomen too much. We're all tight and suck it in all the time. But it's safe to do that. It's okay to do that. It's good to do that.
Yeah. It's great. And even in you saying that, and I'm noticing my breathing, and as I'm speaking, there's I'm sitting somewhere I don't normally sit while I'm working, and there's squirrels playing right outside my window. I mean, they're literally hanging. I could reach them. If I could reach through the glass, I can reach them. And squirrels don't have any problem breathing. Like, they're like,
no, dogs don't either.
Dogs either, exactly.
Yeah, it's like you can learn a lot from nature and animals because they're living in the now.
Yes.
They're living right in the moment. And, if they have something to fear, then they'll be in fear. Otherwise, they don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They're existing in the beauty of the moment, or the beauty of today, or the backyard, as it were, for my two. So.
Yeah. Well, I noticed one of the things for me, when I'm breathing and take a time to be mindful, one of the things that happens is, even if I'm angry or scared or upset or hurt or any of those things, it's like I can handle it better when I'm just experiencing it versus trying to move on in spite of it, or trying to move on top of it, or like that. If I just let it be, there's a lot more power in my ability to process it and to deal with it. And it's fascinating what you've been saying, because I can imagine in your coaching work that you do with clients that there's real life circumstances that are not ideal that people are dealing with, and you're bringing practices like breathing means that there's peace possible even when everything's screwed up.
You can always find peace in the now. I mean, I guess the exception would be if you're being attacked by a bear or something like that. You should run. There are those exceptions to the rule, but most of the time, the now is a safe place. Being present is a safe place. And most things that we tend to worry and stress over are things that are out of our control. And it takes practice to let go of those things. It really does. And we all fall short of that at times, myself included. But most of the things we're worried and stressed about are completely beyond our control.
Yeah. Well, like with the coronavirus and everything in the news and all the fears and concerns there, really, unless you're in the medical field and you're a first responder, or you're doing something critical, you can't do anything but stay home and be well. You can't fix it, you can't stop it, you can't change it, for most of us, right? There are some people obviously who can and should, and thank God for them, and we're grateful. But for most of us, what we can do and what we can be, what we can impact is how we are acting and being.
Yes, exactly.
Whether or not we're breathing. And
you're doing something for someone by being home. You're doing something very, very important, and people don't realize that right now. But But yes, unless you're a first responder, and we are so grateful for those people. They're amazing. I have so many friends that are nurses, and I just tell them, I try to tell them on a regular basis how incredible they are.
Yeah.
And doctors as well.
Yeah.
So, but for the rest of us, we can set an example by staying home, by washing hands, doing all of the
Drink
protocols,
water.
drinking lots of water, and staying sane and being kind to each other.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is all of us have something to be grateful for right now if we look around. And I like to practice gratitude whenever possible too, because there's always something you can be grateful for.
Yeah.
So stay home and think of those things.
It's really great that you say that, because I've had the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days I've had the experience of feeling very vulnerable and very small and powerless, and feeling that, while at the same time not wanting to let down any of my clients and wanting to move things forward, making sure that the CBD is available for people and all of that. But it's this vulnerability that I think most of us are feeling some version of it. I know I've heard from my family and from friends that they are feeling that sadness and fear and overwhelm, and that everything you've said in the last 25 minutes, and all of these practices, from water to breathing to being grateful in the moment, is the active things we need to do now, and to not pretend it's all okay when it's not okay.
Yeah, but we also have to be comfortable with the fact that it's okay if it's not okay. The world is not going to be perfect and safe and exactly the way we want it all the time.
Yeah.
The key is to be comfortable with change and to be comfortable with the unknown and let it unfold, because it can provide opportunity too.
Yeah.
So but it's really hard to think that way, and we don't wake up every morning. But if I don't wake up every morning thinking that, then I try to reset myself, try to reframe, and then move from that space. And it just takes practice.
That's awesome. As a practice, somebody told me, I'm going to read you something, and this will speak perfectly to what you said. They were talking about astrology and how things are going and different spaces people were in, similar to what we've just been talking about. And she said she looks forward to seeing what pieces of her life no longer serve her, as well as what pieces she can begin to strengthen and make more healthy. And that's the opportunity right now, is, drink your water, do your meditation, this is the chance to work with someone like you in strengthening your inner fortitude and your health, and you're living a life that you love. I mean, I know that's one of the things that you are passionate about, is people having joy.
Absolutely.
And that balance in your life. So now is the time to do that kind of work. Order your CBD and call Tanya and drink some water.
Reach out to those practitioners that would normally be giving you chiropractic, acupuncture, and massage care. They're a wealth of knowledge. And most of us that go into the healing field have had to go through a lot of change and turmoil ourselves, so we're pretty well versed in handling it.
Yes.
But that's been because of experience and practice. Everybody's story makes them a stronger person. I think that we could come out of this as a society as a much more resilient, much more compassionate community if we just, reach out to the people that can help us now. Don't stay isolated if you're having problems with this. You're not alone. And there's lots of ways to connect. Thank God we have technology. I mean, exactly. Zoom, can you imagine going through this if we didn't have the wonderful technology that we have right now to connect people? So that's something to be grateful for right there.
That's so great, Tanya. Thank you so much for your time and for your continual support of your natural health care, and for the work that you do with the people that you coach and the people that you treat. And thank you for being one of those healers in the world.
Thank you. It's my honor and my pleasure to serve other people. It's really been an amazing adventure in my life doing this. I do what I love. I'm very fortunate to do what I love.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And we will do it in 2 days. Let's see what, I think the next person on Friday, this Friday, we are interviewing Dr. Prince, who's a chiropractor. So even more, you know, more possibility and more inspiration. And we're going to record this and make it available to everybody who follows us. And thank you for doing that and being who you are.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been delightful. Thank you.
Bye.